The Right Path Prayer Group has once again demonstrated its enduring commitment to spiritual enlightenment and socio-economic reform as it successfully hosted its 21st annual Ramadan lecture in Abuja.
وما لأحد عنده من نعمة تجزى إلا ابتغاء وجه ربه الأعلى ولسوف يرضى.
For over 2 decades, this highly anticipated Ramadan gathering has continued to shape the aspiration and intellectual direction of elites, Islamic scholars, women groups, and Muslim youth organizations across the Federal Capital Territory. The 2026 edition, however, carried a particularly strategic and national tone, focusing on the theme Zakat, a divine law to reduce social and economic wealth imbalance. This is coming at a time when the Nigerian government is repositioning the nation's economy towards internationally acceptable reform. The lecture presented Islamic divinely ordained financial system as a practical and sustainable solution to economic disparity, poverty, and social injustice. In its opening remark, the chairman of the group, Alhaji Adeladan Rafiu, expressed profound gratitude to Almighty Allah for granting members and guests the opportunity to witness another blessed Ramadan. He reaffirmed the organization's commitment to raising the standard of the annual lecture year after year. He passionately called on policymakers and those at the helm of Nigeria's economic affairs to carefully examine the principles of Zakat as a divine economic framework capable of addressing inequality and fostering national development. It further referenced other successful Islamic financial instruments such as non-interest banking, takaful insurance, and sukuk bond as a viable alternative that have already proven effective in various sectors. It concluded by appreciating all dignitaries, scholars, and attendees for their continued support and participation.
Tí a máa ń ṣe ní ọdọọdún a dúpẹ́ pé ìgbà tá a ṣe tọdún tó lọ akẹ́wà pé ó dìgbà ó wá wọ ọlọ́run ọba ó dìgbà tó pàdé lẹ́nu pé àtúnkù ọdún lẹ́nu àkú ọdún àkú ìrìnàdún ọlọ́run ọba láàánú adékàṣe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ rẹ̀ láyé gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìṣe wa èyí ló di ìjókòó kànlélógún 21 tí ẹgbẹ́ the Right Path Prayer Group tá a bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí máa ń ṣe àwa létí gbara wa nímọ̀ràn ní ọdọọdún nínú oṣù ọlọ́lá oṣù ńlá ni oṣù Ramadan títí ọdún ìtúndé lẹ́yìn kí sì ni ètò tí ọdún yìí dálé lórí ó dálé lórí Zakat ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa àti máa ń gbọ́ kí n sàká ayọ̀ sàká ìjà ń yọ bó ṣe ẹ̀ka yọ ìjó tọ́ à ń tò bó ṣe ẹ̀ka tò ìyẹn la sì wí pé ká mú ọ̀rọ̀ yìí wá sí etí wa lọ́dún yìí kí bàbá wa bí wọ́n ṣe máa ń bọ́ wọn sọ lọ́dọọdún àwọn àlífà wa Sheikh Abdulrauf Abdulhamid olúwọmọkéwú wọ́n tún wá bá wa fọ wẹ́lẹ́wẹ́lẹ́ mo kí wa kú àbọ̀ pé a kú ọdún a kú ìyẹ̀dú ọlọ́run àbá láàánú abẹ̀rẹ̀ oṣù Ramadan tọdún yìí ọlọ́run àti ká parí ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú alhamdulillah.
One of the most anticipated segments of the annual program remains the classic and spiritually uplifting session of Askar and special supplication, usually led by Sheikh Abibullah Onirodunu. This year's session was another remarkable success as worshippers engaged in heartfelt remembrance of Allah, invoking divine mercy, guidance, and prosperity for Nigeria and the Ummah at large.
La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha gbogbo wa ká fi ẹsẹ̀ wa méjèèjì ká fi dúró fọ́lọ́run ká tún dúpẹ́ pé Ramadan ọdún yìí tún ṣojú wa. àwọn ọlọ́run ní kájọ máa bẹ mọ́ láyé lẹ́nu. àwọn kan ń bẹ àjọ ń bẹ láyé lẹ́nu àmọ́ wọ́n ń bẹ lọ́wọ́ ọlọ́run ò sí láyé ara wọn. ọba tó ní káwa máa ń bẹ láyé ara wa àwa pẹ̀lú àlàáfíà wa ó dà ká fọpẹ́ hàn fọ́lọ́run. kí gbogbo wa ká yanu sókè kájọ wí pé la ilaha illallah la ilaha illallah la ilaha illallah ar-rahmanu ar-rahimu maliku
The keynote address was delivered by Sheikh Abdul Rauf Abdul Hamid Oloriomokeu, Khalifatul Qadiriyya FCT and Chairman Nukobatul Markasiyin FCT. In a deeply analytical and spiritual guided presentation, the scholar emphasized that the future of Zakat and Waqf in Nigeria holds immense potential for social and economic transformation. He stressed that when properly institutionalized, this divine system can reduce wealth concentration, empower vulnerable communities, stimulate grassroots economic growth, strengthen national cohesion. He further explained that addressing operational challenges and harnessing structured opportunities will enable this Islamic institution to play a decisive role in national development and poverty alleviation.
The meaning of Zakat or why Zakat. This verse clarifies that when Allah distributes livelihood and wealth unequally, this distribution is intentional and wise. Some are raised in status and resources so that they may employ others, thereby creating interdependence within the society. From this divine arrangement arises obligation of Zakat. Those whom Allah has enriched, such as employers,
as mentioned in the verse, to purify their wealth by giving zakah to the needy, the poor, and other eligible recipients. In this way, Allah's mercy flows through human agency, ensuring social and economic work balance, compassion, and justice. In Saudi Arabia, if you pay tax, they will not deduct zakah from your money. As well as in Qatar, as well as in Kuwait, as well as in Bahrain, United Arab Emirates, and Brunei. When you pay tax from your salary, they will leave zakat for you. But because we are secular states, that's why we don't have such an administration here. Please, those people are adhere to government, better make life easy for us. And that, I think if we have time, I will have explain more through the 2025 Nigerian Tax Act. The punishment for those who refuse to pay zakah. That zakah they refuse to pay will leash their neck in the hereafter. The Quran, chapter 3, verse 180. Another in Surah Al-Imran. There is another one in another verse of the Holy Quran says that okay, it's an hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ma atahu Allahu malan faman yu'addi zakatahu ja'ala Allahu tilka liman yawm al-qiyamati kafan bana al-aswad. Allah says, Rasulullah says that that money that you refuse to pay will turn to a big serpent, and that serpent will hold your neck in the hereafter. So that is the punishment in the hereafter for those who refuse to pay zakat. Since that in this world, if you pay zakat, Allah will give you ibtalahu Allahu bimasibatin. Allah will punish you with disasters, or qahatin, feminine, or drought. That is as reported by Tabarani. And Rasulullah said lastly that if in a place where a Muslim sleep with hunger, Allah will punish them with lack of rain. Please try and help others. Zakat is obligatory upon a person who fulfills the following condition. He must be a Muslim, he must be sane, he has reached maturity and possesses nisab. And there's an hadith that says that Rufi'a al-Qalam
عن ثلاثة عن الصغير حتى يبلغ وعن النائم حتى يستيقظ وعن المصاب حتى يكشف عنه.
àwọn tí sàkáṣọ ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn fún kìnwí Yorùbá, àwọn náà ni mùsùlùmí ní sàkáṣọ yẹn ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn fún. Ẹni tí ò bá ṣe mùsùlùmí tí ń bá lòun yan sàká, sàárà ní í ṣe, sàká kọ́ ní yọ. Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì náà ni ẹni tí orí ẹ̀ pé. Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹta tó ń yan sàká, òun náà lẹni tó ti mature, ẹni pé Yorùbá tó ti bàlágà. Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹrin ni pé owó tó fẹ́ fi yọ sàká nú ẹ̀ ó gbọ́dọ̀ wọ ọ̀kan tá à ń pè ní threshold ní sub tó á padà ṣàlàyé ẹ̀ tó bá yá. Àmọ́ nípa ti ọmọdé àtẹnitórí ò pé èé ṣe tí wọ́n lè yan sàká, àwọn àfáwà panupọ̀ ní àwọn ìmọ̀ mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin wípé wọ́n ní lè sọ àníyàn tó o bá sì fẹ́ yan sàká, àníyàn pàtàkì. Àmẹ́nitórí ò pé àti ọmọdé wọn ní lè dá àníyàn ní sàká ò ṣe ṣe pàtàkì fún wọn.
In a significant development, the program attracted legislative attention that broadened the discussion beyond religious circles into national policy dialogue. Distinguished Senator Yunus Akintunde, representing Oyo Senatorial District, urged Islamic scholars to actively participate in Nigeria legislative process. He revealed that when similar matters relating to Islamic economic principles were presented in bill form at the National Assembly recently, public hearings were announced with expectation strong scholarly representation, yet meaningful engagement from Islamic scholars were largely absent. He noted that even when hearings were extended to the 6 geopolitical zones, substantial policy-driven presentations were not forthcoming. Instead, discussions were limited to peripheral demand, such as Friday as a public holiday. The senator therefore encouraged scholars and Muslim intellectuals to deliberately engage in public hearings and legislative advocacy, especially on transformative economic solutions such as Zakat and Waqf.
The only request gbogbo wa ta wà Nàìjíríà jẹ́ mùsùlùmí àwọn pé marital law wa ó ní issue, inheritance law wa làwọn mùsùlùmí ó ní issue, Zakat lẹ́sọ̀ ó ní issue. The only request tí ẹ̀yin prof èmi gbogbo àwọn tó lóko ìbéèrè ní pé kí wọ́n declare Friday ní public holiday nínú Quran gan sọ́lọ́ ní ká declare Friday public holiday. So I want to advise ibi gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ ló fẹ́ wà ní. Àwa náà ní láti wà responsible, agbọ́dọ̀ máa participate nínú tí bá ń lọ. A máa ń wà reactionary, ọ̀gá náà fara ti ṣe àwọn lè dín reactionary. Níjọ́ tí ìjọba náà ṣe òfin, wọ́n ló kọ́ tó wá wí tẹ́lẹ̀ ìwà náà di ẹ̀. Ìta tún ní káwọn yẹn wọ́n tún ṣe nígbà wọ́n jẹ́lẹ̀ wọ́n wọ́n fún àwọn ní Friday àti working day. I stop a question for people attention I say the opportunity lè máa wà mọ́. Àwa yìí náà gbọ́dọ̀ máa wà responsive tí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì bá ń ṣe. Tí ìjọba bá ti ṣòfin àfa ẹ̀yàn fẹ́ tẹ̀lé.
The special guests and other distinguished dignitaries in attendance include Senator Shuaib Salisu, representing Ogun Central, Ogun State, Alhaji Abdulhakeem Bello Ashwaju, Justice Abdullahi Adam Abdullah Ali Lori, Imam Fuad Ademola Adeyemi of Al-Habibiyya Islamic Society, Alhaji Said Oladele, a gubernatorial aspirant from Oyo State, Alhaja Tawa Ali, wife of Senator Sharafaddin Ali, Alhaja Madinat Akintude, wife of Senator Yunus Akintude, Eniola Badmus, SA on events and public hearing to the Speakers, House of Representatives, among others. Their presence underscored the growing recognition of faith-based economic discussion with national development conversations. The 21st annual Ramadan lecture concluded on a high note, reinforcing the timeless relevance of divine guidance in addressing contemporary socio-economic challenges. This program not only strengthened spiritual consciousness but also projects a policy-oriented vision for nation building rooted in Islamic economic justice. As Nigeria continues its economic reforms, the message from this year's gathering is clear. Zakat is not merely an act of charity. It is a divinely structured system capable of restoring balance, equity, and sustainable prosperity in society. From Abuja National Mosque, EL-QASIMIE reporting.